Hello, greetings, and salutations. Welcome to YARP episode 60, and today we are talking about Kill Bill volumes 1 and 2. Well, everybody, after our recent rewatch of these two Quentin Tarantino films, how do we feel?
Well, first off, we need to address that elephant in the room. So, a lot of people always assume that this is one movie, and Kill Bill Volume 2 is Kill Bill 2. So, for the sake of clarity, we'll be addressing them as either part 1 or part 2, or movie 1 or movie 2. But we will be addressing the movie as a whole, because that's what Quentin Tarantino wanted to happen.
Yeah, our plan was even to watch the whole bloody affair until it was just removed from fucking streaming.
Honestly, everything I read about the bloody affair is that they didn't make it black and white. So they colorized that scene with the Crazy 88, and there was a scene removed at the end of part of Volume 1 where
Where
what the
it
fuck's his name?
previews the stuff for part 2.
Where Bill admits about the daughter. The very end of Volume 1, he's like, "What about her daughter?" And then boom, the whole bloody affair cuts that out. So it makes it a more effective.
Yeah, it makes a better surprise.
Surprise for later, and we're gonna get to that. But that's literally the only difference. Like, the version we watched included the animation bit that Tarantino added later. So that's like not part of the original thing. And for those who don't know, there is an animated bit that goes back into Lucy Liu's character's backstory. It's really fucking well animated. It's pretty.
All right.
With that being said, let's talk about Kill Bill. Obvious. I don't fucking know a single person who hasn't seen this fucking movie. Like, flat out.
No, hold on. I got this.
know
I
a
got
few.
this. I'm gonna come out with the.
You're gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna own it.
Back up.
These did not fucking hold up to scrutiny. I remember seeing both of these films when I was much younger and really enjoying them. And I still think there is a lot here to enjoy. But as far as comparing this to something like Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction, these do not hold up nearly as well. I think this is some of Tarantino's worst work. I know, hot take.
See,
but fuck.
I was going to say I'll need to hear some of this stuff because I'll admit while I was watching this, I was just call it rose tinted glasses. I was just happy the entire time we were watching this,
and that's 100% fine. Because here's the thing: I believe the movie has the lowest lows in his. We're just gonna call it series of movies. I feel like it has the lowest lows of the movies, but I feel like it has some of the highest highs. Like, everything about the bride entering Kill Bill's house from then on is fucking phenomenal. I don't want anybody to fucking take that like out. I don't really think this movie holds up, but I do think there are parts of this movie that are fucking awesome. That being said, we're gonna get into that. So you were physically agape by what we did. So you want to take it?
Okay. All right. So in the second movie, or the second part, or whatever, there's this moment where Eye Patch Girl is talking to Fat Man, and she's saying about how she's just unveiled that she's assassinating the guy with a black mamba snake in a suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that she's doing like her cartoonish villain thing, and we'll talk about this later on, just the style of everything, but she has like the most Saturday morning cartoon style of villainy, and it's really distracting. But while she's doing this, she's talking about how this is the Black Mamba, its poison is incredibly powerful, blah blah blah. Mwahaha, twiddle my mustache, Mr. Bond. But she says that she looked it up on the internet. And when she said that, there's like this little click in my head, and it just rubbed me the wrong way, and I was really distracted for like the next 5 minutes of the movie because I was just in my own head trying to figure out why was that just so like abrasive to my ear? What was it about that? And it's because this movie, both parts of it together, all of it is steeped in like this nostalgic style of movie making, down to the way it looks, down to the way it's filmed, down to the way it sounds. And even the way like music is used. Like you'll have like really bopping catchy tunes for a driving montage or some action. But when people are just in a room talking to one another, there's nothing in the background. All of the sound is diegetic. So everything just feels really close and intimate and real, and it's really fucking cool. But it is all so nostalgic. And so much of the movie is behind that screen of that nostalgic style that it gets away with a lot, except when it doesn't. Imagine like a sheet over the whole film that kind of covers up some things that might not make strict logical sense, or some tricks of choreography that are very obviously the cameraman making it so you can't see how that makes no sense. All of these little things that get kind of swept up in how caught into that mindset you are of those older movies of being a kid and seeing Bruce Lee punch a man through a wooden wall, that kind of shit. And so when we all watched this when we were younger, we were so safely behind that screen. And I think it's just because we're looking at it so much more closely now, or that, film has just moved on so much further from where this is, and this was already looking back at something that was retro to it, that when you do get something that collapses the sheet and connects modern sensibilities to what I'm seeing on screen, it kind of broke the illusion. It was like a little crack in the rose-tinted lens that just made all of this very cartoonish, over-the-top, fucking Starsky and Hutch style dialogue feel really fucking weird.
Starsky and Hutch dialogue. God damn it, dude. I feel like you just fucking smashed the head on the fucking nail. That's really well put.
So yes, overall, there's a lot that's still really cool. All the nostalgic stuff, everything that calls back to the older movie, but does it by and large pretty well. Not amazing. I think the lads are going to have a talk about the choreography, but just in general, there's a lot of it's done really fucking well. But there are those moments that will just kind of put little chinks in those rose lenses you're watching the movie through.
Whoa. Chinks? Chill.
Well, there is a very racist Chinese man in this movie, so I suppose if I was ever going to get away with it, this would be the time.
Fair enough.
Susan,
he just
please,
fucking hates Jack. He just hates them.
He hates women more.
And Caucasian women.
And Caucasian and
No,
Americans.
he hates
women in general.
No. He hates Caucasians and he hates women. There's a two separate things.
Oh no, he has nothing but disdain for women. It's
and he despises Americans.
I mean, that's most people, to be honest.
And most Americans. Yeah, so I feel like we should get started. And like I said, there's a lot of good things. One of my personal favorite scenes is Hanzo's scene, the first time we meet Hanzo, and like from that on to the end, there's a lot of like.
Once the reveal happened, I was like, "Wait, hang on, did I misremember the movie? What was the point of everything that happened up until right now when they're in the attic?"
What? What do you mean?
Okay, she arrives.
Yes.
She knows who she is, obviously, and she knows who he is.
Well, no. She knows who he is. He doesn't know who she is.
Right. So why is she pretending to be someone she isn't when she knows who he is?
I mean, if she had just ran into the sushi place and just gone, "You're Hatori Hanzo, give me a sword," I think he would have just went, "No."
That's little. You're going in like the stark opposite to make it sound ridiculous. No. You walk in as yourself normally, You just don't blurt out information randomly, but you don't actively pretend to be a complete other person who doesn't even speak the language. That helps you in no way. Like, we know what her goal is when she walks in. It's to, like, she'll be a bit reserved. She's not going to announce herself. She's going to go in, kind of make small talk, and just kind of establish a rapport before she leans in for a quiet moment and reveals, like, I'm here for Hatori Hanzo. And once she drops that name, as we saw in the scene, the veil drops. It's like, it's serious business time. Okay. And they have this very serious conversation. I think Quentin Tarantino just wanted to have, like, a comedy bit with the Japanese guys.
Fair, but I feel like that's.
I think that's what. I think I'm just trying to dig in too much behind what that was or why it was in. I think he just really liked whatever he wrote about this fucking weird, angry married couple of guys running a sushi shop, but one of them clearly doesn't fucking want to. He wants it to be a general.
He wants to watch his soap operas.
Well, I'll be the fucking emperor. But the thing is, I
Yeah,
feel like
if you were a general, I'd be an emperor, and you'd still be getting the fucking drinks, you bitch.
Yeah, I feel like that was set up for the contrast of I think it was set up for character build, because like the contrast is like, yeah, he's very disrespectful and a shitty person, but when it's like it's back to seriousness, like the T guy, he shapes up and is clearly very respectful of Hanzo. And I feel like that was just all told just from like the language of like everything that happened and stark contrast to his previous life that he's kind of trying to let go of. And actually, not kind of. He fucking swore a blood oath that he would never fucking create a sword ever again.
I mean, what little we know about Hattori Hanzo, he's hardcore.
Yes. Although,
if they want Japanese assassins to not be incredibly conspicuous, they should probably stop naming them Hatori Hanzo.
Well, to be fair, when he goes, "How do you know that name?" It's obviously he hasn't been.
Yeah, he probably hasn't gone by Hatori Hanzo in years.
Like, how do you know that name? Well, I have seen an anime.
I've seen an anime. You know Mortal Kombat Scorpion? Oh yeah. His name is Han. Oh, so.
Oh, Scorpion.
Do you play Overwatch?
No, I was about to make the
back then.
You want to be a Fortnite?
No, Beatrice is just like, you ever play The Witcher 3?
You ever seen a man's penis? Anyway.
Yeah, that scene is very, very odd. And dialogue varies a lot from like scene to scene, depending entirely on what the context is. Like I said, Eye Patch Woman talks like a character from like a slightly higher rated G.I. Joe cartoon. Whereas whereas like the Oiran girl, it's like she talks like an actual anime villain. It's a lot of different genres. Like you said it earlier that this is probably like the most Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah,
it's just him with no leash, no restrictions. Like, this is just what the inside of Quentin Tarantino's head looks like in film form. And I think that really kind of captures both everything great about it and also everything that doesn't work.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Weird.
Because it's such a mishmash of just everything he clearly loves to draw inspiration from, and like the styles of things he wants to emulate in his own artwork. It's very endearing, and because a lot of these are things that we also like, we're like, oh, fucking hell yeah. We got an anime villain lady, we got a big fucking gang fight. Everyone in this movie thinks that samurai swords are just the coolest shit.
Yeah, and like they're actually pushed to the point of like mysticism, because samurai swords are actually very fragile. But
yeah,
apparently
they were worthless shit.
Apparently Hanzo was able to summon the fucking nether realm to make this sword. That's why they're so badass. And of course, the fucking goddamn cartoon character that is Pai Mei. But
hold on, can we talk? I wanted to, for a split second, talk about how Bud's idea was just gonna sit here with a fucking shotgun because it works.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just kind of how that is. Like,
honestly, Bud might be the most effective assassin we see.
Slash
like,
worst. I kind of fucking hate him, so we're gonna get into that. Yeah, I don't. But is there anything else good that we could think of that are pretty good for the movie?
Practically.
Well, before we fully get off the topic of Hanzo, I thought it was weird that in part 1 she has no issues saying Hatori Hanzo, but in volume 2, when she's in the trailer with L, she says Hanzo. And it kind of made me gag a little bit. I was like, oh, why?
Did she really? Hold on, I'm pulling
yes,
the movie
she
back
fucking
up.
did. And I wanted to say something right when it happened, but I was like, nope, we got to get through this.
Volume 2.
She says Hatori Hanzo. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you couldn't have done another take?
That was
you left that in.
Is that as she was holding on to Bud's sword?
Uh-huh.
Hold on, let me
She's like, it's a Hattori Hanzo. It's like, ugh.
Let me pull up the copyright filter for a second. So, because I need to hear this. It's the whole flashback.
I can't. Tom, what you got to say
about the Hanzo sword, or just in general?
Well, no. What do you think of like the good thing? What was your favorite part of the movie?
Well, probably just really like the character stuff, and like the whole, like literally the whole revenge like story surrounding the bride.
Yeah, I really love how this I guess in my head, after all the shit with Last of Us 2, again watching this again, it just feels like this is how you do a revenge story properly. Especially that scene where Beatrice is in the bathroom crying and then also smiling because she's going through a whole range of emotions.
Yeah, she just killed she loved.
But she's like elated that it's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Great scene.
That's a good scene.
Yeah.
Like I said,
thank fuck, but holy shit.
Yeah, like I said, the whole last bit of that movie is fucking awesome. Like there's a lot of great character work to shock that through there. And can't really, like I said, like from like the moment she gets to Bill's house, like I fucking love like pretty much every single scene that's there. And like I said, the Hanzo scene's pretty good too. Ninja, you think anything off the top of your head? It's pretty good. Oh, did you find the Hanzo thing? Did you actually see Hanzo?
Oh, hold on. Okay, I have it here, but the problem is you guys can't see it. I just want to show the audience it for a second. Hold on. I'll actually show you guys it too.
Hanzo.
There's gonna be a weird just shift of our. We're gonna turn into boxes. Oh no, we've turned into boxes. All right, let me know when you guys all hear, because I don't hear Discord noises when we're recording.
It'll be alright. Just go ahead and let it play.
Okay. So.
Bud's Hanzo sword.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh
yeah!
Jesus
That's what I was talking about.
Hanzo sword.
Bud's Hanzo sword. It's like, why would you say it like that? You know this motherfucker.
Quentin, try again.
You are in his house. You insufferable cunt.
You lived there
for a month. God damn it.
You speak Japanese, allegedly. Yeah, so that really jumped out at me. I was like, oh my god, ew.
Oh, that's fair.
that was gross. Jesus Christ.
So put some fucking respect on that man's name.
Alright, so I feel like it's me and Ninja who are against the train here. Ninja, you want to start us off?
Sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of issues in both parts. The first thing that really jumped out at me was the choreography, especially in the ending of part 1, and I would say the beginning of part 2, or maybe the middle of part 2. The trailer fight is really egregious to me.
Egregious?
I don't like it. So there's multiple parts during that sequence where they do the whole like, oh, she can't open the katana because she's inside in an enclosed space. But also, she can use a fucking lamp as a weapon and literally throw L through a wall with no issues. You know what I mean? Like, it's. I get it. A katana is kind of unwieldy in a small space, but not to that degree.
Yeah, and especially not any like high trained assassin.
Yeah,
allegedly the fucking 7 deadly venoms are, or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like the best.
And the fact that she makes
the
basically the same mistake multiple times in the same fucking fight is like, okay.
Yeah, sooner or later she should have just ditched trying to use the fucking katana.
Or pulled it out in a way that you can pull it out. Like, the fucking trailers aren't that fucking small.
Yeah.
Like, the way she pulled it out, like, it was almost over-exaggerated with the overhead thing. But she could have easily just fucking threw... Like, the smartest thing to do if you want to use the katana is to throw the sheath away.
Pretty much. And, I mean, I think we were kind of talking about it a little bit intermission, but that crazy 88 fight scene.
It is very appealing to the eye.
It is flashy.
Very stylish.
Yeah, this is kind of a point
It is pretty much garbage when you look at it for even more than a second critical.
Yeah, this is kind of something I wanted to say earlier. Like, Tarantino oozes style when it comes to this movie, but I think that's also part of its downfall, is because, especially with the Crazy 88, it's nothing but style.
Well, but see, here's my issue with that argument, right? There's plenty of examples of anime and even martial arts films, which he's clearly pulling a lot of, inspiration from, that do both, where it's flashy and the choreography works and it makes sense.
Yeah, the Hong Kong Jackie Chan films are one of the greatest examples, because they especially when he started to direct them.
So the idea is you don't have to sacrifice one to have the other, but he clearly did. Like, you can very easily tell that Uma Thurman has no fucking idea how to use a sword.
I actually was thinking about that during the Pai Mei training scene. She's doing all this stuff, and I immediately thought, how are you not gaining even an ounce of muscle if you've been here for years, possibly?
They do make an effort to, when she's in the coffin and she's trying to punch her way out, like, she clearly exercised her hand enough that it would look lean and veiny, and she looks wiry.
Yeah, I don't have as much of an issue with that. And I think the whole concept of the enclosed space and the 3-inch punch, all that works. What I have an issue with, because I can fully believe she broke the coffin, but she did not fucking climb up 6 feet of dirt. Fuck off. She's dead.
I feel like that was more of a stylistic thing, because the camera is clearly showing like an open chasm.
Well, no, I'm talking about in general. If she punched a hole in the lid of the coffin, her circumstances have not improved. Because now you have dirt flooding into the coffin.
I did like that nice attention to detail. As soon as she popped out, she was still sinking down, because the space that she was in the coffin needs to be filled. That actually is
a really nice touch, as somebody who's had to put a fucking crane on shittily fucking buried things. That is kind of what happens if like any bit of the soil is disturbed. But it wouldn't. I don't think it's impossible, but it would be very difficult, and they kind of portray it as like, well, she does struggle to get out of it. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
We see like a very open light.
I've never been fucking buried alive, so I can't speak to that, and I don't know exactly how like the ins and outs. I'd be curious to know like exactly how that would be, but
I feel like it was proved it that you would die.
You would die straight up.
Yeah, because you'd run out of oxygen. You've only like 3 minutes of air in the coffin, if I remember correctly.
Oh wow.
I think it's more than 3 minutes, but it's not much.
It's one of their older episodes, so hold on, since no one can see my monitor, you guys keep talking.
Go ahead, pull it up. Yeah, no, so I guess we can get into that, because since we're there, one thing that really fucking bothered me, what's the guy's name? Bill's brother?
Bud.
Bud?
Yeah.
Bud is simultaneously my favorite and least favorite character in the movie.
I get it. Yeah. He's just got that vibe.
He's really competent until he's really fucking not.
Feel free to elaborate.
So he's aware, and he's also really honorable, and then he's not at the same time. It's weird. When he's first when he's first like brought up by Bill, warning him about the bride, like the way he talks is as if a man who's accepting his death, and he understands and is regretful of what they did.
Yeah.
But the way he handles the bride is also kind of bad. And this actually happens very similarly in another movie I'm a big fan of. You ever heard of Justice League Doom?
Yes.
Where
we were talking about when Bane buries Batman in his parents' coffin.
It's
like
the idea of just as like realistically, I guess, you know, there is like a very hard way to like get out of that kind of scenario. But the giving in a person the option to get out always rubs me the wrong way. It's very comic book, like ha twist my mustache, tell you my whole plan thing.
Well, I think it was Slur. You bring up like the Bond villain thing, and that's kind of what the coffin feels like. It's the
but the problem is somebody's as careful as he is, because like you said, he blasts her in the fucking
he would have
chest
just
with
shot
shotgun.
her again.
Yeah, well, or he would have done what he said he was gonna do, because he clearly wants to kill her, but he feels bad. But he's gonna give her a flashlight.
He does. Remember, there's the scene earlier on when he's talking about it's like, yes, because of everything that was done to her, you know, she deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die. And then after that, he says, but then again, I guess so does she, because she's also an assassin. So he's just kind of reminiscing on the fact that even if everyone involved in this entire sordid affair shot one another, the world is not going to be a worse place because we're all pieces of shit. And his brother's just like, okay, yeah, that's cool and all, but could you like try and stay alive, please? For fuck's sake, you myopic dick.
Well, and yeah, and like he wants to. So the chick, fucking what's her name? L,
Yeah.
the one-eyed bitch. She's like, yeah, make sure she suffers, and he's like, oh, I fully intend to. But then he has the option.
Thing.
Well, then he has the option to pepper spray her.
Well, he probably figured that having her being buried alive fulfilled the request of make sure she suffers.
Yeah, but then he describes like a way that she could have suffered a lot more.
Yeah, but
and would have literally cemented the fact that
every
she's
characteristic this guy has, going above and beyond, just ain't it. So I think once he figured out the plan that was like, this is gonna make her suffer, she's gonna die, I get $1 million and the freaking sword, yay.
Yeah, but
and then he's like, okay, but I could be sadistic about it and make her like eyes burn, or I could hold that over her as like a threat to make it even worse, just in case she gets out of line. While I'm trying to get her into the box, and when she's in the box, I'm gonna bury her, and then I don't give a shit.
And you can assume, based on his character, that he would have done it if she did act up again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I absolutely believe he would have. Like if she did, like try something.
That's fair, but it feels like there's too much margin for error, and of course it leads to his downfall. Well, not 100%.
To be fair, she was tied up and buried alive.
She was tied up, buried alive, but like, why give her a flashlight? But all right.
But
I don't know what that one was about.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about either. This is what I'm saying. He does a lot of weird things.
Hold on.
That kind of contradict like him.
Not to
she
mention,
didn't even end up using the flashlight, did she?
Yeah, she did.
Just to be able to see. I was going to bring up. You're telling me Bud didn't check her boot? Like he removed a lot of so he kicks away the sword. He pulls away the knife that she has. With how trained he is, you'd assume he would check her. He would check her for more weapons.
Well,
I assume he gave her a pat down and kind of called it a day.
Well,
a knife in the boot.
If you're dealing with a fucking super duper assassin, like, wouldn't you check? And then of course she also didn't have her boots when she left the coffin. There's a lot of fucking foot shit in this fucking movie, and it's
It's
really fucking
Tarantino.
It's the
egregious,
inside
dude.
of his head, like I
I
described.
know, that's what I'm saying.
Earlier,
That's
so it's
and
gonna
that's
be there.
and that's why I was saying it's like, yeah, it's simultaneously cool to see in Quentin Tarantino's mind, but it's like, okay, dude, back the fuck up,
Isn't
relax.
Yeah, then
Isn't
you
it-
get the thing where she's standing on the eyeball, and it's just like, bruh.
Why did you do
gross.
that? Also, why did she travel across the just her fucking feet? Like, why are we keep shooting shots of her feet? Stop! Like, God damn it!
Wasn't it Dusk Till Dawn where a foot was just shoved in his mouth?
I don't know. I fucking
Yes.
never watched it.
It's a foot and some tequila.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
to be
just fun.
fair, it's Salma Hayek's foot.
You know,
It's the foot still.
it's some.
It's Salma Hayek, and she's wearing not a lot.
And when was this? When was Dust Till
Well,
Dawn?
she was hot.
90.
She's still hold up. She's still
Hold
hot
on,
as
yeah.
fuck. But this
hold
was
on,
in her
what is
prime?
Yeah, what is
She's still
Let me pull up
fucking awesome. So let's
She's a
fucking
MILF.
chill out
Yeah,
there.
I'll pull it
she
up
has
for
aged like fucking wine, dude.
I'll pull
She
her
is-
up for myself and the audience.
Her and fucking Jennifer Aniston, dude,
Selma-
they just don't fucking age.
I feel like we
Hayek.
might have gotten slightly sidetracked.
A little bit,
No,
but
this is important.
Put the
Hold on.
bong stick
Yeah.
away, okay?
Yeah, I was going. So you shut the fuck up. So,
You shut your
I
Irish
mean,
mouth.
It's your fucking
putting
business.
pictures of fucking Salma
That's what-
Hayek up on the fucking stream for the audience. I'm not sure this is where we
Related.
started in this
Yeah.
conversation.
So yeah, like going back to it, yeah, there's just a lot of fucking things that are like Tarantinoisms in the movie. And the foot thing, I think this is the most egregious use of the foot fetish.
And
like,
I
all
would
these movies.
even take it a step further and say that what you're having issues with, you could call character contradictions. And I think Bud isn't the only example of that.
Oh, he's definitely not, but
he's the most egregious.
like I said, I really fucking like Bud. I think he's a really cool character. That's
In his
why I
own
was kind of
right,
upset.
yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the way he starts off, where he's kind of like this regretful fucking dude, I feel like there could have been like something there, and I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with it a little. Especially the way he dies, I feel is really, while poetic justice, I feel like it's really shitting on his character.
I will say, maybe it's just introduce us to his life and just see all of his stuff. Did we really need to hang out with him at the titty bar for so long?
Well, I think they really just wanted to hammer it in exactly what his personality is. Like I described earlier, just if you think of the kind of person who will go above and beyond just to make sure they do something well and do it right, he's kind of the exact opposite of that. He's just completely accepted that he's a piece of shit.
It's
He's
also
just
to kind
internalized
of set up that he, like, why he's willing to do this for the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, oh, is this to show like why he'll sell the sword for like $1 million?
Yes, this is his ticket out of that shitty existence.
Mm-hmm. But he also doesn't sell the sword, so it's like I said. I feel like
Well, no, he sold her sword to L.
Yeah,
well, yeah, but
he
said,
lied about selling his
he
sword, which
said
means that like he didn't want to like appear like he cared, because clearly selling the sword was more about insulting his brother. It's like, fuck you, it meant nothing to me, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the truth is like he held on to that, because even if he acted the way he did and he clearly just thought he was a piece of shit and lived that way, there was still a small part of him that actually held on to that old part of himself still.
Yeah, there is a part of...
There's a tiny bit of character for a guy who's like just dead and will never be relevant again.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's a nice touch.
Yeah, another nice touch is when he's putting Beatrice in the coffin, and he's just like, this is for fucking with my brother.
This is for breaking my brother's heart.
Yeah, breaking my brother's heart. He does care about Bill secretly.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't even say
Can we talk about the weird censor thing?
Oh, with Beatrice's name? Yeah, how they for a good shot.
That is fucking stupid. Like,
I never understood that.
That is fucking R-word,
okay,
dude.
if it was done with like an actual diegetic noise, like there was an answering machine in the room when she's with Cobra,
maybe. But
yeah, then I could kind of accept it. Yeah, it'd be like Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, the new sheriff is near.
God,
that kind of thing, it would
when's
work.
that happening?
Whereas what they did, it was just a random fucking beep.
It was literally, and it wasn't even like stylized. It was the same fucking beep. Was it 4 times?
It was literally like him censoring her name because
because mysterious origins. We gotta shroud.
But how does her name change? Like when you get her name, it doesn't really affect anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not a big reveal.
I think
it only becomes.
I think maybe it's it's because in Volume 1, like what you just know her as, like the bride and like Black Mamba, like you're knowing her as the assassin killer. Then in Volume 2, you're learning about Beatrix Kiddo, and that's when the name is revealed. And that's my assumption.
Yeah, that's
like my take on that.
We also get that with Bill himself. You know, in the first movie, he starts off as nothing but the sole of his shoes, and then
the faceless like mastermind.
Go to his fucking house. We see his kitchen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And making a sandwich.
Did we need to see that weird
cutting the crust off? It's the most
important part. Need to see that weird cutaway of the kindergartners and then just Uma Thurman like with pigtails?
Wait,
I guess not. I found that funny.
It didn't really add anything. Actually, it was actually very
Did I zone
Wes
that out?
Anderson kind of shot.
It was very brief.
When they talk about when Elle is trying to tell Bill about the headstone, it's like that's the resting place of Beatrix Kiddo, and it shows like a kindergarten class taking attendance, and then randomly they say Beatrix Kiddo, and just Uma Thurman wearing her leather jacket still.
I literally stepped out for 2 seconds to grab a water bottle. I missed that completely. Holy shit!
It was a very brief cutaway.
Shit in the whole movie.
Damn. Okay, that's fucking
yeah,
weird.
And like I said,
it was,
it's a very
like
Wes Anderson style thing. It was exactly what you imagine.
And like I literally ran to the fucking thing to grab a came back. Like so I completely missed that. That's weird.
It was quick, yeah.
It was very odd. And it didn't actually add anything. We just got it confirmed what her name was, and it's almost like, for emphasis, here is her responding to the name in a classroom.
No,
and it's just like, what the fuck?
That's not my name.
Get it? She's a kiddo.
But she's kiddo?
But okay, then show a kid doing. I don't know.
But they showed a kid.
No, they didn't. It was just Uma Thurman wearing.
Not Uma Thurman, kid.
Oh, it was Uma Thurman.
Yes, Uma Thurman with pigtails, like still wearing.
Okay,
she was
so
still.
I would have put that down as another fucking Tarantino red flagism.
Yeah, she was still.
It's not a Tarantinoism. He's never done that before or since. I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird.
It's
just
really.
It's a Roman Polanskiism.
Oh.
It was a Wes Andersonism.
Oh no.
Yeah, other than pigtails, she's wearing her leather jacket still, and it's like, what the fuck?
I guess to me, and this could be 100% subjective, but I feel like the character work in this, I mean, considering the fucking runtime,
yes,
it is flimsy as fuck compared to his other work. I mean, Reservoir Dogs is like a tight 90-minute script, and holy shit, the character work in that movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I also feel like the character work in this is also a little strange too. We're trying to show off that these people who came in and that Uma Thurman is going to go to the ends of the earth to kill, they're essentially on her level of like assassinating, yet it feels like they all get dealt with. Lucy Liu in particular kind of bothered me. I think there was an added thing from that fight because I really don't remember her saying I apologize for insulting you or whatever.
That's part of it.
That
was always there.
I don't remember that, but yeah. It just felt like they were dealt with too easy for the amount of buildup they were given.
I can see that. It's like, they're supposed to be like these big epic boss fights, and
like
basically...
Lucy Liu literally threw a fucking 100 people at
Well, They're just the name is Crazy 88. There wasn't actually 88
There was
people.
fucking a lot of dudes.
There was a lot of.
I know.
I want you to actually like people. Like
I can count.
This is something that always really bothers me because it kind of shows a lot of perspective. A lot of people. It's like oh, but like she's kind of going through them. It's like yeah, but just take a sword and swing it 80 times, and tell me if you could still fight after that. You know what I mean? That's a lot of fucking work. And I'm saying 80 times because that means she's one-shotting people. She's not one-shotting everybody.
Yeah, there are a few people that there is a back.
And she's also parkouring up the side of a fucking like balcony and all that shit.
And this is after she got drilled in the chest by Go-Go twice and got her fucking shoulder slashed fucking open.
Which would that one to the chest immediately made me think either cracked at least one rib is at the very least.
Oh, her sternum and ribs are fucked.
Oh well, Go-Go was dead too after she got hit in the back of the fucking head with that thing.
Well, of course. She should have nailed the fucking
head. And did you hear the fucking bowling pin sound effect?
I posted the GIF.
Oh my god.
There's and that's kind of the charm to it, but it is like what Slur said about the internet thing. It does kind of go that was weird.
Yeah, it pierces the veil a touch.
Oh, so wait, what about
when she went through a table and it's bowling pin noises, and specifically it's during the fight in the trailer. Like I said, this is just me because I'm like autism about Foley art. When she gets thrown through the table, it's like the crate cracking noise and literally everything that has to do with fucking wood.
Yeah, there's also the what is it?
Like which is fucking just wood falls over. You know what I mean? It's the exact same noise.
That's also the noise of not Combine soldiers falling over in Half-Life, but it is one of the most famous video game sound effects. I almost wanted to say Arma. I think it plays a good few times in the trailer.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but. Like I said, it's weird because this movie is like simultaneously somewhat realistic, but then Pai Mei exists, so it's like, what the fuck?
Who's like an immortal monk?
He's immortal.
You remember what I was saying about how like there are different people from like entire different genres? Yes. That motherfucker's from Kung Pao.
Yes, definitely. Like legit, he fucking jumps onto a sword and stands on it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like
it's like the ultimate flex in any
Pai Mei is fucking Chad.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he's fucking the greatest. And like, is he like? Was the implication that he is actually immortal?
I think so, because he's the same person who slaughtered that entire Shaolin temple.
But he's not, because he got poisoned, so he's dead.
Well, I mean, he never actually specified how long ago that was. Like, he could have just been telling a story about like.
Yeah, 1003.
I was like, yeah, he could have just been talking about it last week or something. I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah, he could have just. Yeah, he could have. I said he could have. Yeah, he could have embellished a little bit, but that's a weird thing.
No, that wasn't embellished. If that's him, that's Mei Ling. That's a direct 1-to-1. In fact, Mei Ling's probably the one who told him.
Yeah.
So he's immortal to age, but not to poisoned fish heads.
I mean,
also,
you could be immune to aging and still die by other means, but
right, of course.
But once again, that's one of those things where it's like, that's how you killed him. All right, well, I guess.
I appreciate that because there was no way anyone was going to beat him in a fight.
Yeah, you're not going to beat him. Yeah,
had to be combat. Underhanded and fucking backstabby, and all of this, of course, delivered with the line. That's right. I killed your master.
I was thinking about that.
Dude, I giggled, dude. I was like,
Mr. Bond.
Yeah, I was like, I killed your master, and now I'm gonna kill you with your own sword.
Yeah,
which is gonna be my sword.
Going. She just wouldn't stop. She just kept doubling down and doubling down. It's like, oh my god.
It was unapologetic. You kind of gotta respect.
Entire mouthfuls of scenery.
And the fucking music doesn't help. Like, it's doing that.
Well, I was going to bring up. Well, Elle is so committed to her job when she's disguising as a nurse. Her eye patch even has the plus, the little cross on it.
She's got the eye patch. Yeah,
she's that committed to her disguise.
Also, it's not a nurse's outfit. It's like a stripper version of it.
Yeah.
It's the
She got it at the Halloween store.
Yet it somehow works.
That's fine. I mean, I didn't.
Also,
complain.
did anyone think it's weird that she's walking with this needle on the tray? She also has the vial of a presumably poison or some horrible drug cocktail like sitting right there on the tray, and like a roll of gauze or some shit. Like, it's like, why not just bring the needle? Why do you need the rest of that shit?
Well, no, she's gotta play.
Well, it has to look like she's giving a proper official injection with medical care. It's like, look at me with all of this medical shit.
Like, and my stripper outfit. From the Halloween store.
Hello, fellow medicals.
Doctor.
I do like the attention to detail though that like everything was a stripper outfit. The shoes were functional. They were actually like nurse flats.
Oh, they were flats? Okay.
Yeah.
At least she got that right.
She wasn't wearing like fucking stiletto heel pumps.
You're telling me there was a woman in this movie who was wearing shoes? I don't believe you.
You're telling me
in a Tarantino movie?
You lie.
Pai Mei is known with contempt for women.
And women's feet.
Oh.
You fucking do that act like a dog. Okay. Or what's the exact line? I forgot it. That was like
if you
weird.
Eat like a dog, you will sleep. If you act like a dog, you will sleep and eat like a dog.
But
kids.
Oh no, it all comes back.
Okay, but he says the things like, okay, if you want to eat like a dog, you can like sleep it, whatever. He grabs her rice and he chucks her rice, and then he pushes his rice forwards and says, if you want to eat like a human, pick up your sticks. He's just fucking gotten rid of his own food.
Yeah, well, he loves her. Because that's why he trains her in the technique that nobody will ever know.
And he's a boss. He doesn't need food. He doesn't need sustenance.
She has to survive so he can continue to break.
You just keep breaking her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. With love.
And hitting her with the stick.
Well, it's his hand now.
Well, it's his hand. Oh, yeah, it's technically his hand. Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. Get it right.
Yes, sir. Sifu. Every time, I legit wanted to grow a beard just because of that fucking flip.
I fucking love him swiping his beard.
Stupid.
He does it for no particular reason.
Alone, can he?
He's
so always at it. It's like he's in a L'Oreal ad, but for his face.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with facial hair in general. You're like, if you had a long beard, you're telling me you wouldn't do the Pai Mei thing?
Yeah, if you had that beard, you'd flaunt it.
No, I'm not joking. So here's the thing. When I first, quote unquote, saw this movie, I saw it from that scene onward, just because
Did you not, quote unquote, see the movie?
Quote unquote?
Yeah, it was just a weird way to say it, to phrase
whatever.
It,
yeah,
I walked in. It was at the scene where she met Pai Mei, and that's where I started watching the movie, and I watched it all the way through, and I was like, oh, this shit was fucking great. Which I guess is pretty much most of it, but yeah, like that was like the first thing I saw about Kill Bill was this fucking cartoon character.
No, yeah, like there's a couple.
Fu Manchu.
There's a couple things. You either like when you either get a Fu Manchu and you start doing the Pai Mei, you get a goatee and you start doing the Obi-Wan thing. There's like facial hair. You always gotta just touch it. There's just that unspoken rule.
No, you really fucking don't.
Did you say touch?
As someone who actually has a fucking beard, no, fuck you don't.
You lie.
Yeah, but yours is as long as Pai Mei's.
Well, I mean, not as long as Pai Mei's, but definitely less fucking wispy as shit.
Yours is more bushy.
Well, that's because you need L'Oreal.
Yeah, if you just lather that thing up, you'll be doing Pai Mei.
You need to put that together. A L'Oreal thing. Whoosh. For some reason, I remember a whip noise. I guess that was another kung fu movie.
Oh yeah, there's
because isn't Pai Mei from another movie? I could have sworn.
He is. Yeah. He is.
Well, I think Pai Mei is like a fucking saying or whatever, like a title more of the so. You know what I mean?
Tom, what other movie is he from? Because you said yes.
I don't remember the name, but he's definitely like that, like persona that character is in an old, like kung fu movie.
Persona.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his persona card.
I'm sure if you look it up, like Pai Mei.
Yeah,
like martial
yeah, but that's like
whatever.
saying Wukong is in multiple things. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's in fucking everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And I think like in that old movie, that character is in. I think the story that Bill was saying is in one of those movies. I think, like, he goes to like a Shaolin temple and like fucks people up. I'm pretty sure. It might be a different context, but it's like similar.
Okay.
To the story.
Yes. What else? Yeah, so the choreography for the most part is pretty bad. Some of the character work is really strange. I do like what they did with Cindy Lou with that anime thing. That was actually pretty cool.
Cindy Lou.
What? Oh, it's not Cindy Lou. Oh shit.
Lucy Lou.
Cindy
Lou's from the Grinch.
Yeah, I was about to say Cindy Lou.
You're thinking of Cindy Lou from the Grinch.
Like, I didn't say. I was about to get like mad. I was like, fucking name wrong. I was like, oh yeah.
Mr. Grinch. Mr. Grinch.
I'm not getting mad. It's just funny.
To be fair,
No, I just have it in my fucking brain. That's like the final boss of the first movie is that girl from the Grinch.
Mr. Grinch, what's a Hattori?
Hot.
I love the idea.
Cindy Lou as Lucy Lou as Orenishi.
I love the idea that.
Oh, I did it, by the way.
Lucy Lou as Cindy Lou.
Oh, there it is. Let me pull it up for the stream. Not for the stream, the recording. Mr. Grinch, what's a Hatori Hanzo sword?
Hanzo. It's a Hanzo sword.
Here, it's not just a Hanzo sword, it's Bud's Hanzo sword.
Bud's Hanzo sword.
Sorry, just
I want that to be like a legendary item in the game or something. Just Bud's Hanzo sword.
Yeah,
also, I love the picture you used of Pai Mei. He's so like cheery and smiley. It's
very obviously a young.
He just insulted
in a
somebody.
white wig.
Yeah, so obviously not.
He just called someone a slur.
Yeah.
He just broke someone's arm.
He just was misogynistic.
He just plucked out someone's eyeball.
Based.
You know, if they had like a video game version of this, it would be like Bud's Hanzo sword of +1 toilet unclogging.
+1.
What?
What's funny is during that training montage, I was getting like because Sifu, like the game, is based on like those old school Hong Kong movies. Because when you're being explained the controls, it does just do that red background thing and just doing the moves. Have you guys played Sifu yet?
Not yet. I haven't been meant to.
But
in the Kill Bill game, the toilet unclogging build is like that's the meta.
That's top tier.
Yeah.
That's
that's
Let Me Solo
tier build right there.
Yeah, that's what Let Me Solo Her is using.
It's pretty far down the skill tree.
Let Me Solo Her has big bud energy.
Very much so.
You know, what do you mean I don't get to make those words? Slur.
You haven't played the fucking game.
Neither is Slur.
I know the memes.
Yeah, we can know the meme without doing the thing.
Dude, he became a fucking legend. It's like people have heard of him.
I was about to say he's in Soul Calibur now.
I am unsurprised.
Somebody literally made a character, put a jar on their fucking head, and that's it. And the name of the fucking character is Let
Me Solo Her.
There's fan art like comics of people's encounters with this character.
Yeah, you cannot defeat me.
Amazing.
I know.
That's been a Souls thing though. It's weirdly like Tarkus was like Iron Tarkus or whatever. I don't know shit about Dark Souls. I just know Iron Tarkus is somebody you don't fuck with.
I mean,
we were saying things.
I just
things,
that whole like 5-minute segment. We've just had this L'Oreal picture just on screen.
Oh, it's my new Facebook picture. Yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, I feel like we just addressed the points. There's just a lot of like weird things about this movie, and I feel like that does hurt it objectively. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, and also the second movie, for very large portions of it around the middle, is actually just really boring.
Yes.
And then it'll like have a little peak, and then it'll go back, and then towards the end, we get to some like the really, really good shit.
Yeah. That's why I
like,
was
for a lot of it, it's very slow and not in ways that worked the way they did in the first one. And this is like mainly a part 2 problem. In part 2, you do get these slower scenes. You get these just a camera on some kind of dolly or whatever, and just people talking in a room. And you just get a sense of setting, a sense of character. Good shit. But in the second movie, a lot of it starts to feel like padding. And I feel like it's because a lot of it wasn't really serving a function. And even before we went into this, I think some of us even said it, that we just remembered basically nothing but the ending.
And I really can't understate it. The fucking ending is so effective in a lot
It
of different
really is
Yeah.
so good.
Well, I
So
was.
good.
That's kind of why I asked if there was a point to all the Bud stuff in the titty bar, because that's the problem. I'm bored out of my fucking mind during that
I
good
think
chunk.
giving us an insight into him is also giving us an insight into like the behind the scenes of Bill's world.
I guess I'd rather
Because
see
this is
that
what
for.
it does to the kind of person who grew up in it.
I guess I'd rather see that for L rather than Bud.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
L-
Elle was too busy being a literal cartoon.
Yeah,
So.
But
literally
that's
a
kind of
cartoon.
why I'm.
I
Because
killed your mess. She's literally a fucking.
Because
match
Elle
for
and Lucy Liu's character, if you got anything else to say, now's the fucking time.
I felt
You're
Lucy.
just mad
I
because
felt
Captain
Cindy Lou is a
Spaulding
lot
dumped on
fucking
your man.
better than Elle.
Oh, she was, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so was Lucy Lou. But
Cindy Lou fucking crushed it.
I don't know why, out of nowhere, before the Crazy 88 show up, it's like Silly Rabbit, tricks are for kids, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, that
I don't
was
know,
very, very strange.
The assumption is it's some kind of inside joke or inside thing that they've said to each other a bunch of times before. But yeah, we get no fucking context for it whatsoever.
Oh, speaking of cereal. Okay, when she's...
Uh-oh.
I know, tangent. But when she's...
Okay, okay, go ahead.
I'm listening.
Continue.
When she's in and she's gonna fight Cobra, right? And then
Copperhead?
Cobra, like, she's pretends they're like, okay, we have arranged a fight, we're going to do this honorably and
okay.
properly, and I'm reaching for some cereal, and whoopah, surprise! I pulled the trigger too soon while I was swinging the gun around, and now the bullet's in the door, oh no. Was the gun already in that cereal?
I like
Yeah,
to
the
think
gun,
yes.
The gun was in the
So,
cereals.
is that just her, like, practice in case an assassin comes, of a gun in the kid's cereal that
That's
a child will never, under any circumstances, behind my back, decide to go and open, despite it being one of the things they really like.
She's 4, and it's in a cabinet. She can't reach up there.
Yeah.
well, I was gonna hope that
It's a very weird place to keep a gun.
Yeah,
I
well,
agree.
the assumption is that it's specifically like put in the back for like this occasion, but that does we talked about it in the intermission, but we didn't talk about it here. The fact that a super class assassin who has somebody with their guard down, because, and as we find out in the second movie, she was basically in this exact same scenario. The fact that she literally had her and missed horribly is kind of fucking cringe.
yeah, as much as I'm
It's like, and it's like, well, she was like trying to be. Thing is, the fucking Beatrix was completely disarmed. She was totally down to fight later. So that means she could, like, and that's why I said it in the intermission. Hey, do you want a thing of cereal? Walk close to her, then shoot. Make sure that you don't miss. And if it's a gun, there's a chance that there's more bullets in the clip. Dump the clip.
Yeah, empty the mag.
Like,
or maybe
because
just pull the trigger before you even pull the gun out of the box. It's a box of cereal. It's not going to impede the bullet.
No, she does. She shoots it through the box.
Yes, she does. Never mind. Yes.
Yeah, she shoots it through the box. But like I said,
But she only shoots once, and then the implication is she never gets an.
Yeah, then she never gets another chance to fucking do it, because in the millisecond it takes to twitch your finger,
coffee.
The bride decided to drop her coffee and then drop kick it at her, then throw a knife. Clearly,
both of which take longer than pulling a.
Literally twitching your finger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be understated. That's all it takes to fire another shot. Like, if you've never fired a gun, that's it. You fucking twitch your finger again, you've already fired a second shot. Unless she's got like a fucking crossbow or a derringer, which is a literally single shot pistol.
Well, if it was
Or
a
a
crossbow, an
Which-
arrow would have come out.
Maybe
Actually,
she's
it's
got
kind
a
of fun.
fucking crossbow and
Well,
the Cocoa Pops.
Well, as I was going to say, I think that's exactly what Ninja said was a fucking
fucking like she's got like a little musket, you know. It's like, oh, hold
Yeah.
on, let
She needed a
me
blunderbuss
powder
getting
this.
spread.
It hits the neighbor's dog because it's smoothbore.
Yeah, let me reload. Give me like 5 minutes.
And it's like, oh, but that could
I
have been.
need to reload. Can you come back tomorrow?
And it's like,
hold
and
on.
It's like, oh, well, that could be, that could be the case. It could be just a single shot. It's like, no, because that's an assassin's last attempt, and it's a mother's last attempt to destroy a child.
Yeah, that's the thing that she can't understate. Is like her kid is home from school, and as far as she's concerned, she is in grave danger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's to the point that like they're giving their looks to each other as the bus is coming. She does not want to have this fight in front of her kid.
Also, it's a little weird, but I'm pretty sure 4 is too young for her to be going to school.
Yeah, 4
on the bus like that. Like she should have been like 6 or 7.
Honestly, it would have been better if she was older, because you could have had that major setup. Because I heard there's talks of a sequel.
Oh yeah, Kill Bill 3 is being made.
Oh, it is being made.
Yeah,
that's
I'm looking at Quentin Tarantino's IMDb right now.
Huh?
Yeah, it's on there.
It is. Is it going by the proposed story?
I wouldn't know any proposed story. I would just
the proposed story is that it's Kill B, and it would be the little girl coming to kill
all grown up.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and that would be the perpetuation of the cycle.
Because it was that line, she's like, "Still feel raw about it. Come find me."
And like I said, it's the and then there would be the continuation of violence or vengeance, because then BB would want to avenge her mother.
Cycles of violence.
Whatever. There's a fucking word. Perpetuation. Whatever. Something. P word. Yeah.
Kill Bill. Yeah, Kill Bill Volume 3 announced.
Fuck. Why?
That's gonna be tismy as fuck.
Yeah, it's not gonna be great. There was something interesting though before we wrap this up, because, like I said, this is one of my favorite scenes. It's the end scene of Volume 2, and one of my favorite things is the Superman thing. Now, Wyatt,
I fucking hate the Superman thing.
Why?
It's okay. So I guess from a physiological standpoint, yes,
hang on.
still.
Before we continue, does anybody else have a problem with this scene?
No.
No, but there's going to be a thing I know is going to come up, so I'll let
I know.
go
Yeah, I know what the thing is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then, Wyatt, go ahead, take it.
I guess so. From a physiological standpoint, he's not wrong. Superman wakes up being Superman, but at the end of the day,
in this case, it's Kal-El.
Yeah.
Superman, but he's saying Superman because nobody knows fucking Kal-El's name.
Right. But that, I don't know, it comes across as tell me you don't understand the character of Superman without telling me you don't understand Superman. The mainline Superman, at least. There's plenty of Superman origin stories where he probably is the critique on the human race. But in the mainline things, he is just a man from Kansas that just wants to do the right thing. Clark Kent is the real person.
Well, but the thing is, he still is Kal-El.
Okay, but
no.
Before even going into that, like, your main issue with the Superman speech is that he is incorrect.
Yeah,
you disagree with the things that he says about Superman. You disagree with his assessment. I think the thing both Tom and I are kind of thinking of is, it's not about whether he's right or wrong. It tells us a lot about him.
Right.
That he reads the story in this way.
Yeah, that's what. That's why I said while we were all watching the movie, I texted that I hate when that's used as evidence for when other people say they don't like Superman.
Trying to use these arguments is going to be wrong because his reading is very flawed. Because that entire speech is basically if you actually handed Lex Luthor the Superman comics,
exactly,
what the fuck would he think of them? And it's just.
I don't think he's entirely wrong though, because
I was about to say you guys are saying that
you're focusing on the wrong part of the argument. So he's not necessarily saying that he's not Clark Kent, or that's not part of his personality. What he's saying is, whether he's Clark Kent, whether he's Kal-El, whether he's Superman, doesn't matter. It's not something he puts on. He can go by whatever name he likes, but his abilities are inherent.
And
that motherfucker wakes up super no matter what he does. He can't take it off.
And the specific thing he's talking about where he's like, oh, that is a little wrong, but that is also not incorrect because Kal-El, because as Clark Kent, he is weak and thing. That's part of his disguise, but that is how he perceives his human form.
Yeah, and the whole point...
Is it how he perceives humanity?
No,
yeah,
I don't believe that part's wrong.
That's the trip up, I think.
Yeah, because it's like, no, Clark Kent is not a critique on the human race. That's fucking weird.
But you could make the argument that is his perception because he is literally trying to fit in.
He's literally putting on the act of a fucking buffoon who's very weak and powerful.
He has to, because otherwise, if he just did things normally, he would be like, what the fuck,
Yeah, because a lot of like a common criticism, like I hate hearing this argument so much. Like, oh, it's just Superman wearing glasses. It's like, no, the personality, like how Clark
the thing
Kent
is, anybody who
himself.
reads into it any bit can realize that it's not the personality, it's not the fucking glasses, it's the entire thing.
Yeah, it's the way he acts, he hunches.
Yeah, nobody suspects fucking Clark Kent to be Superman because he doesn't act, look, or sound anything like Superman.
And even with the
being who trips on a fucking water cup,
and in the Christopher Reeve version, even has different hairdos.
So yeah, anyway, Superman's a shit character.
He's not.
I love Superman.
I miss what Superman used to be. I hate what they're doing with him now because they just can't stop making him evil.
Yeah, they always have to make him evil to quote unquote make him interesting.
I was like, every time it comes out, it's like, oh, we should make a Superman film. It's like, oh yeah, and we could make it like really cool, and we can kind of put our own spin on it. So I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. It's like, actually, it'd be like really interesting just to do something a bit different and explore the character.
Oh,
what if he was a cunt?
Oh,
ooh, that's interesting.
And then
Nobody's
the
ever
next
done
person comes along a few years later, and they have the exact same conversation.
Yeah, what if he, now hear me out, what if he killed children? How about that?
What if the person who raised him said that maybe you should let children die?
Oh, yeah.
Will it be an issue, do you think, to put all the Jesus imagery next to the war crimes?
Honestly, guys, I feel like you're not reaching hard enough. I feel like we need to go for the big gun, something that's never been done. We need to make him die. No one's done that.
Oh, no one's killed him before.
Can we make him die on a cross?
Ooh, maybe.
What if
how about we have the guy who kills him have big horns?
The kryptonite crucifix.
Ooh, could that possibly be? Now, hear me out, and I know I'm just assuming here, but could that be an allegory for Satan?
Satan?
Then you need to have Grandma's peach tea and Jolly Rancher. Okay?
God.
No, if when he's trying to get back to the Earth, he flies out as if on the cross?
Watching his girlfriend.
Superman's a piece of shit.
I was like, while his girlfriend's dying in the fucking thing. But yeah, what Ninja said. Final assessments. Subjectively, I think we all kind of rated a little bit higher. But let's be objective here. What do we put it at? Wyatt, I'll save you for last since the movie. Tom, what do you think? And remember, we're reserving everything in all the movies. So
yeah,
the whole fight scene in the Crazy 88 is objectively part of the entire thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. I already mentioned earlier about my feelings towards it. And it was brought up, like the whole stylistic thing of how it's, emulating.
I think that
the
was
old
in
movies.
oh wait, no, that wasn't in the intermission. We said that earlier.
No, he brought it up in the intermission, but I tried to make sure to bring.
No, it was brought up, yeah. I guess 7?
7? Okay.
Yeah.
Slur?
We've kind of been over as like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. A lot of the way things are done is kind of swept under a veil where, as well as a suspension of disbelief, you also have this suspension of style allowance that it doesn't always keep up.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of very cartoonish shit, and sometimes that's cool, other times it's not. Sometimes things make sense, you understand why we are being shown the scenes we are, other times you don't. And yet, overall, I still pretty highly recommend people see Kill Bill in its entirety. Like, it's got all of this weirdness, but it's also very technically competent, like filmmaking wise. A lot of the way the scenes are done, there's so many fucking iconic bits from these movies that watching them back now, it's like, oh, this is where it's like that kind of comes from as a thing that's done now. Like it's very formative in that way. So yeah, it's like I rated, yeah, I think 7.
Seven's fine.
Objectively, there's a lot of flaws and also a lot of things done really well. So it is very much above average overall, even with its many flaws.
All right, that's fair. Ninja, go ahead, take it.
I think I'm gonna have to go with 6. I agree that it is above average, but I think that it has a lot of issues. And I do understand that there's a certain amount of allowance that this film gets for, being stylistic or like you said, kind of emulating the older style. But I don't think that deserves too much allowance. Like I think you still have to judge it on its own merit. And like I said, it just doesn't really hold up as well as I remember. I was actually quite disappointed on the rewatch. So still better than most of the stuff out there, still above average. And I think Slur is right. I definitely would recommend people see it, but I think they need to kind of temper their expectations.
That's fair. And Wyatt, go ahead and close us off. What did you think after looking at it with a critical eye?
Subjectively, I still fucking love the shit out of this movie, but objectively, with the critical eye that I'm supposed to have, I'm very torn between a 6 and a 7, and this is when I normally use the cop out of 6.5, but I'm with two people that hate the decimal system for some reason.
Well, it just makes the out of 10 scale redundant because you're no longer grading it on a scale of 10.
You can have a 75 out of like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, but now you're grading it on a 100 scale.
Yeah, it's different. That's not a decimal. That's a whole number.
And I don't hate the decimal system. I hate the Dewey Decimal System. There's a difference.
I don't hate the decimal system. I hate it when it gets a little bit more specific, when they're like a 6.6. It's like, oh no, now you're just
well, 7.42%.
6.83.
Yeah, when it's just like, no, use the 0.5 because that indicates whether it's a low 6 or a high 6.
Fair enough.
Or I would almost respect you more if you went the entire opposite and you just gave it like massive numbers for no fucking reason. So this is like, I rate this movie 700,673 out of 1,783,189.
That's okay. Is that the Wyatt grading system? It's like galactic levels. I can never just rate it like a 4.
Well, I was about to say, if you ever listen to High Boys videos, that's how he rates movies at the end of it.
I like Jeremy John's.
I rate this movie 5 Coney dogs out of 6 hamburgers.
I prefer.
Yet you always kind of know what he means.
Kinda. It's because it's weirdly consistent in a way.
I prefer something like Jeremy John's thing, where he throws out the number system and does things like dog shit, but good time, no alcohol required, because it's more tied to mood.
I actually do kind of dig that. As like
I'm going to give this a B-.
Oh. It's still gonna pass. It's still passing.
That's what I was gonna say. That's still passing grade.
Yeah, passing mark. Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's a fuck. I still haven't figured it out.
It's a 5 out of 10. Wyatt said. I can't believe
so
far down. Favorite movie.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
What the fuck,
Ninja?
Could you believe?
No, in all reality, it's a 6. As much as I love the absolute shit out of this movie, it does not hold up as much when you really look at it.
Fair enough.
Almost sounded like you said I was right or something.
Right. Anyway, are we settled? Because I feel like this one's going a little bit longer, but that's fine because this
Only by
one-
like 15 minutes.
Anyway, next week might be a little bit shorter because we are. Well, I guess let's put it to a vote. Do we want to do Death Proof? Just a
I
simple
think we
yes or no.
should. I mean, since we kind of combined the 1 and 2, it wouldn't be a bad idea to. I think the main reason we brought it up was because we felt like Jackie Brown was a little off track.
Mm-hmm.
So throwing in Death Proof would kind of make up for it a little bit. So I wouldn't be opposed to the
Edition of it. So
the addition of it, and it's not a bad flick. The ending really kind of bothers me, but we can go into that.
I said we can go into that and see the merits of that because it's been a while since I've seen it. So I might have a point. I'm down for it as much as I really fucking hate gore and all that shit, and it's kind of why I always didn't really like Kill Bill, to be honest.
The gore in Kill Bill is like cartoonish, though.
It's cartoonish, but it still bothers me. I don't know why.
It's on the same level as like Mortal Kombat.
I don't know why. If there's a difference to me from digital to like IRL in a sense. I don't know. Even though, yeah, it is cartoonish when, somebody gets their arm cut off and it's replaced by fucking corn syrup.
Yeah, okay, so what was like the actual worst scene, like in terms of the one that would make you the most uncomfortable?
The eyeball scene's pretty bad. That's like hard. There is something that did bother me. I can't fucking remember it.
While he's thinking about that, the anime one.
Was it Cindy Lou getting her head top of her head cut off?
That was pretty stupid, but I'm a JoJo fan, so.
I mean, she does look pretty creepy with a fucking flat top.
I do have to say, while Max is thinking about that, the animated Lucy Liu origin scene when the pedophile's getting stabbed and his fucking teeth all explode. I really don't like when, like, maybe it's because I have like a fucking crown, so I already have a fake tooth. I'm like, no, I can't stand teeth being fucked with.
A lot of people.
Oh yeah. Teeth were like grinding as well. It's like
Punished his mouth so hard it exploded.
Yeah, I took my headphones off. I was just like, I can't do that.
Honestly,
That's awesome.
Out of all the gore, to be honest, it's the foot stuff that really disturbs me.
I mean,
just
yeah,
wiggle your big toe.
Oh, you mean when they were getting their feet? You mean when they were getting their feet cut off? Yeah, that was pretty.
Oh, and another one that kind of this doesn't. Just because it makes me think about it, the slamming the head with the door, like that, with the nurse guy.
Yeah, they could have made that a lot worse.
They could have done a lot worse. It's mainly the concept I was thinking of because
the tongue. That's it. That's what bothered me. The tongue thing. That one's fucked. Like,
oh yeah, when she bites his bottom lip.
Yeah, and then like he walks in and like he's like missing his jaw, like that. Fuck me. Like I said, I kind of winced and look away. I'm
gonna look at that scene again because I could have sworn that nurse guy is walking into the room almost directly looking at Beatrix. Is it Beatrice or Beatrix? I keep saying both.
It's Beatrix.
Tricks are for kids. Hey, yeah. There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go. It's
there he is.
10 out of 10. Fucking, we were all wrong.
We did it.
Slur, about the inclusion of Death Proof. Are you yay or nay? You're yay? Cool.
I'll give it a yay.
Tom, your vote doesn't matter. But
hold on. If this is if he's like
I'm kidding.
The guest...
I'm kidding. Okay. I'm fucking joking.
Yeah, Tom. He's all about taxation without representation. So
both of you commies, so shut the fuck up. Anyway, Tom. Death Proof.
I'll say yay. That might be fun to do.
Okay, fair enough. And like I said, it's probably going to be a shorter episode to be 100% off.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty short movie. At least I remember. It might be like an hour and some change long. There's not much that happens.
Yeah, I think it's about 90 minutes.
It probably is really short, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 90 minutes, I think.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm outvoted on this one. I was more looking forward to just what we have in store for Bastards.
Honestly,
but
I was going to say, honestly, Wyatt, I honestly didn't really want to do it either, but I feel like we kind of should.
Yeah, it's 2 out of 3. We're outvoted, Max, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair enough. So
I mean, just
Mate.
think it's going to be all the more sweeter for what comes after Death Proof. So
What is after Death Proof?
Inglourious
Inglourious
Bastards.
Bastards.
Is it? Oh,
Which
I was gonna be,
in
I was
which
gonna
we
be
have
vague,
something.
But,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah. So it is Inglourious Bastards. Cool.
Yeah,
That's good.
Bastards, then Django.
Potentially the best. Quentin
I will
Tarantino
say
movie.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it is a personal favorite. I think Inglourious Bastards is fucking immaculate.
It's
So
pretty
it-
fucking
it-
great.
it-
I
It
love
originally-
it. I love
It
it.
originally was a tie between Kill Bill and Django as my favorite movie. I think with looking at Kill Bill with a more objective eye, Django is skyrocketed way
We'll
past
see.
it.
We'll see. Maybe you,
Django's pretty solid.
you never know.
Django.
Maybe Death Proof will be your favorite movie. We'll see.
I'm good.
Can't wait to see a decapitated leg just fucking on the fucking side of the street.
Decapitated leg.
What? I don't know.
Stranger things
Dismembered.
Dismembered.
Shut up. I don't know how to word. It's late.
Oh my god,
Thank
I
you.
just got that.
Thank you
No,
for
stay
all
with it.
showing up.
No.
I really
No,
appreciate
stick with
you
it.
guys. Every one
No,
of
it's
you.
fine. Stick with it. It's funny.
Yeah, join us next week while we talk about decapitated legs. But until
Hell
then,
yeah.
thank you for stopping by. We love you guys, and be safe.
Feet.
Jog on.
Bye bye.